The Donald Trump administration is arguably the most influential this century and probably as well dating back a good portion of the last century as well. Love it, like it, lump it. Trump is remaking in the United States of America. Let's talk about tariffs first, right? There's all this talk that Donald Trump always chickens out when it comes to tariffs. No tacos for Trump. The effective tariff rate, get this, it's 18%, the highest since the FDR administration in the 1930s, up from, get this, just 2% last year. From just 2% last year, we're talking about a level, an effective tariff rate level, get this, 9 times as high this year than last year. But it's not just on tariffs, which of course Donald Trump ran on, in which you're seeing a tremendously influential presidency. So that's why I said that in my mind, Donald Trump is the most influential president of this century and probably dating back a good portion of the last century. That is because he is remaking the country in terms of tariffs. He is remaking the country in terms of net migration, and he is remaking the country in terms of how much policy changes he's putting through in executive orders. As I said, it truly is history making. Love it, like it, or lump it.
To bring you a straight-up truth bomb about one or maybe even two ways that the world has gotten better, not just in America, but across the West since the election of Donald Trump, or should I say, the re-election. For one thing, we no longer have to have this guy in charge in the Oval Office.
And I was proud to ask Kamala Harris to run with me, be the first black woman to serve as Vice President of the United States. It was important, as president, I made the cause of civil rights and equality the foundation of everything I did.
Everything I did. And you see there, Shouty Joe is back, and that was quite a little admission, if you were listening carefully, that Kamala Harris was a diversity hire, a pick made, you'll recall, all the way back in 2020 to get the woke left on board with running an old white guy at the top of the ticket. Speaking of Kamala Harris, she's launching a book. Yes, 107 days. It's going to be called The Tale of the Shortest and Most Disastrous Presidential Campaign in History. Here's a little teaser of what readers might expect.
I mean, there's a lot of personal stuff in the book. I mean, poor Dougie.
You're blowing the lid off of Doug? What's going on?
For example, my birthday's in October. The election's in November. You see where I'm going. And Dougie kind of dropped the ball on my big birthday.
He didn't get you anything?
Oh, you have to read the book.
Pity the poor ghostwriters there. But by the way, there's a very interesting standoff developing now between the Joe Biden camp and Kamala Harris as Joe Biden's people threaten to reveal just what Kamala Harris was like as vice president if she spills the tea on Joe Biden's own, shall we say, infirmities. Anyway, moving on, change did wind up coming. Kamala was rejected, and I tell you what, it's driving the left absolutely bonkers because, you know, the Australian Labor Prime Minister, Paul Keating, he once said something very wise. He said, when you change a government, you change the country. And that goes more than double in the United States, where thanks to the return of Trump 2.0 and the end of wokeness, we are seeing the entire culture swing back to normality. Gone are the bonkers woke corporate campaigns, and back in is natural beauty and, yes, a bit of sexiness. And of course, I'm talking about the whole Sydney Sweeney controversy that just simply will not die. Now, let me start by reminding everyone what culture looked like before Trump 2.0.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it.
And 7 months into Trump 2.0, this is where we are.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that?
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
You see what I did there, right?
A reminder, woke culture before Trump. That was bizarrely a car commercial for Jaguar. Yes, seriously, and here we are now.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
Well, the left are, of course, losing this here. The CEO of Jaguar was just forced out, and you have to wonder whether that little campaign that I just showed you had something to do with the plummeting car sales, had everything to do with that. But what do the French say, plus ça change, plus la même chose? I'm sure Rowan will correct my French on that one, of course, but this means the more things change, the more things stay the same. Here's the way things were before the inauguration of Trump the first time around.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States. President
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the...
And here we are now.
Good genes passed on to offspring? That American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is literally overt eugenics. I know you don't want to hear this, but if you want to talk about how that ad is promoting eugenics...
Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this? probably not, but it's still really shocking. Like, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it.
That's Nazi propaganda. Wow.
Yep, that got me too. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's just so blatant.
Or if I can just sum that all up in one word for you. No! Because you see, it's not hard to see what's going on here. For one thing, we have a bunch of feminists who are angry not so much about the male gaze as maybe the fact that the male gaze isn't landing on them. Fancy that. But more broadly, what we're seeing here is also the last gasps of the Great Awakening that began with Barack Obama's election and ended with the end of the Biden administration, in which, during all of those years, attempted to rewire our brains into thinking that all sorts of things were not true, that men could have babies, that Lizzo was a healthy weight, and that liking an attractive girl like Sweeney was akin to Nazism. And in the current fight, the left are like the old restored Bourbon kings of France who have learned nothing and forgotten nothing.